Okay everybody, so I was debating whether or not to do a Valentine's demo, and I thought yes I will, because it is coming up, and I thought what can I do? And I just came up with a couple of very quick simple Valentine's cards for you to create. One is just rubber stamped and the other one is sort of collaged with a few rubber stamps. So the first one I'm going to do is so simple, but if you've got a lot to make, then this would be a good one to do. And if I can bring this in a little closer, you can see the sparkle on the outside of the heart or the edge. That's just a little bit of glitter glue, of course. So for this little project, I'm using the craft cardstock greeting cards, blank greeting cards, which I found at I think Joanne Fabrics or Michael's, one or the other. And then we're using this love rubber stamp, which is from Rubber Soul, and I love this heart. This I believe is from Beeline Designs. Oops, don't know if you can see that. But I love the kind of rough edge on the heart. Whoops, sorry. And the little postal mark here, and it just kind of makes it funky. And then the other stamp I'm going to use as the background is this lovely stamp from Memory Box, one of my favourites for backgrounds. And that's just a simple alphabet stamp. Now the ink pads that we're going to use today, for the background, the VersaFine Vintage Sepia, which I know you've seen me use a lot. For the heart, I'm going to use Brilliance, the Brilliance Crimson Copper. This is a sample one, so they don't normally look like that. And then for the love stamp, I'm using the Onyx Black VersaFine. You can also use a black waterproof ink pad. Okay, so let's get going. So to start with, I am going to ink up my alphabet stamp. And this is how I like to ink my stamps. I feel I've got more control over where the ink is going. And then I'm just going to see if I can line myself up here. I'm going to stamp it sort of center on the side of the card here. Let's go. Ooh. Try not to wobble the camera. And it's very subtle, and I'm sorry the lighting's a little funny today, but you can see where I've stamped that. Okay, so we can put that one away. The next thing, you can go straight ahead and stamp the heart. And as I said, this is the Crimson Copper, which is one of my favourite colours in the Brilliance line. And I'm going to just stamp directly on top of where I stamped the alphabet. So let's see, it doesn't have to be centered or anything. In fact, I might not do it centered. There we go. Press down hard. Oh, great, I like that. Okay, so now we can put those away. And then, sorry, my arm's reaching over. And we'll stamp love. And I like to come over the heart a little bit here. Just kind of adds another layer. There. See how easy that is? And that's so quick, so if you have a lot of cards to make, you can just leave it at that. But of course, I have to add my stickles, and this is the diamond stickles, which is still my very favourite. And so I'm just going to turn this way so I can see what I'm doing. And all I want to do is just gently squeeze and then just outline the heart, and you have to just press gently on this glitter glue, because what you can end up doing is making it come out in one big blob. And that has happened. So there you go. Now I wait till this is dried because I don't want to smudge the glitter glue, but what you might see, what I've done on the sample card here, is I have taken my corner rounder punch and rounded off the edges. Just kind of goes with the heart shape in a way, it kind of keeps it nice and uniform looking. And for that I used this corner rounder punch, which is, I think it was my very first punch that I ever bought about 10-12 years ago, and I still love it. And There is no company name, but I'll bet you can find these in any craft store. So that was the stamped card. Okay, I hope you found that okay. Now the next one's going to pop these aside. This is another very quick card, and again I've used the manila cardstock. Oh, the craft, not manila, it's craft, isn't it? Yeah, craft. K-R-A-F-T. Now I've already gone ahead and stamped my stamp because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to put it, but I love this stamp. This is a great one for if you have Valentine's to send to friends, or for birthdays or any occasion. There is nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship, and I really, I just love that. And that stamp was that's Wordsworth, and that's a wonderful stamp. I love it. So I just stamped that in a black ink. The next thing I did was I wanted to put a little mini collage on here, and it's so simple, but I'm basically going to put these 3 things together, and I love the image of the girls. They're just so sweet. Obviously 2 best friends, or sisters. Sisters can be friends too. So I'm going to move the card aside, and then I'm going to just adhere these together with some double-sided sticky tape. My trusty Scotch tape. Love this stuff. You don't need much of it. So I'm just going to pop a dot of that in there. So the black cardstock is for the background, well, for the mount, and this lovely paper is Cosmo Cricket. And I just thought this was such a pretty, doesn't matter which way around it really goes because it's more of a background really. So, and I'm not too anal about things being totally even on the edges, it doesn't really matter to me. And then, oh, and this image came off a collage sheet from lisasalteredarts.com. Again, I love her images. They're just wonderful, whimsical, and just fun. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop that in the centre there. Okay, so now I can bring the card back over. And I don't normally do things really centered, but on this card it actually works. And I want to lift this up a little bit, so I'm going to use my mounting tape, or I have in this case some mounting, little foam mounting squares. 1, 2, 1 in each corner, 3 and 4. And then what I have to do now is basically peel off the backing. Long nails are good for this. I don't have long nails. They never stay long for long. Huh. Okay. Now I'm going to just pop that on the card next to the phrase. That'll do it. And can you guess what I might think of doing next? The glitter glue. Because these girls need a little bit of sparkle, and so again I'm going to turn this my way. They've got little crowns on here, so I'm going to put some sparkle on their crowns. They look like little princesses. Okay, and then I thought edge of the dress there, maybe just very gently. You just sort of want a hint of sparkle, you don't want it to be really in your face. And just where I see a line, I'll just pop a little bit. You can take this even further by stamping more images or putting more collage images, but the point of this really, let's do sparkle shoes, is so that you can make lots of them in not too much time. But it's still something that you've handmade, and I think that just makes it so much more special. So let's fold this. Going to turn this here so I can fold it a little bit more. Okay, so there you go, and I actually think that's really sweet. So I hope you enjoyed those 2 cards. As I say, simple, but 2 very different ones. I mean, this is kind of more of a sort of contemporary Valentine. This is more of a traditional sort of vintage, but it's always fun to do. And I'll show you also a tag I did last year. Let's take a look here. Oops. daisy. So this was a sort of sweet little vintage Valentine tag, which you may have seen this already. I've done a whole bunch of those. And then these little hearts are little wooden hearts, and I've turned these into pendants and magnets. You can put a little eye pin in here and put ribbon on them just to hang. I mean, they're just like little sweet little, you know, and they're stamped on the back too. Oh, with the same stamp. And I think all of these images again came from lisasalteredarts.com. This one didn't, but I just really like that with the music and the cherub. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'm so excited to be getting back into doing my demos again. I've really, really missed it. So take good care, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, and don't eat too much chocolate. Okay, everyone.